Hey friends, here we go with our compare which repayment option is best. And this is specifically talking about student loans. And fortunately, there are several options. Unfortunately, there are several options. And so since there are so many options, it's always good to know which is the best to use. So we will be clicking on this first and foremost, the repayment simulator. So it's just a little simulation of your potential repayment plan. You're going to click personal information for me. And then we're going to click right back over and we're going to follow these steps, but we're first going to scroll down to whom it is that we are doing these steps for. Sorry, this is the third time I've done this video, so I forgot to erase this stuff. So Sarah makes $43,000 per year. She is single and lives in Connecticut. She has $19,000 in subsidized loans and $8,000 in unsubsidized. So I'm going to head back to my calculator and type in some of this information. We know that she makes $43,000. We know that she lives in Connecticut. And we also know a couple other things. We know how much her loans are. And so we're going to go to add loans. And we're going to just add them in there. So our unsubsidized amount was $8,000. Whoops. And then our subsidized, unfortunately, was $19,000. Okay. So we're going to continue. And then if you go back and read the directions, it's going to tell you to click through this guy as well. And then this has a default. So you just click view results. Okay. And it should pop this stuff up. So it says we estimate that you will pay $258 per month until October 2030. Oh gosh, that sounds terrible. It sounds terrible. Okay. And so it also tells us in the directions that we're going to click view and compare all, because this actually compares all different options that we have. Okay. So in this particular scenario, we've got 6 options of repayment. Okay. Which is a little crazy. All right. So our first question over here, it says which repayment plan will be the cheapest in total. Okay, so we got to look at the total to be repaid. So we've got 30,000, 31, 31, 32, 31, 31. Okay, so let's look at 30. Obviously, that is the cheapest. If I were you, I would just come over here, copy it, and paste it. Okay. And then we're going to come here. What are some advantages and disadvantages of using that repayment plan? In order to find the advantages and disadvantages, it is very easy. Okay, you can read up here if you would like, but if you view details, it's going to tell you exactly what the advantages are. Okay, so you are more than welcome to read through it and then copy and paste it on over, friends. Paste is always good. Okay, copy and paste. And here are our disadvantages, okay? And let me actually read some of these, right? So disadvantage would technically be that it's not a good option if you're seeking the student loan forgiveness, which hardly anybody ever actually gets. So it's almost pointless to even sign up. And then, because you have to pay for it for 10 years, okay? You had to pay on something for 10 years, which is crazy. Anyway, so your monthly payments will be higher than some other options. And then another disadvantage is that it's not income driven. There are several options that are based on your income. So they just would say, okay, 10% of your income, that's how we factor how much you owe us. Okay, so that is a better option. Obviously, there are several different ways that you can do this. And so this is just a way, not the way. Okay, friends, I'm going to bold that. Oops, undo. Did not bold like, there it is. Okay, why it didn't say there, I don't know. So if Sarah wanted her total payments to be even lower, what is something that she could do? Okay, move, move, move. All right, let's see what she can do. All right. Ultimately, it seems like she can do some other things. Okay. Can we identify what she could do to get a lower payment? If I get lost, I'm going to go back over here. Okay. So it says this page will list all the repayment plans, monthly payment, total to be paid, payoff date, and forgiveness amount. View details and apply to look at the graph visual of payments over time and advantages, disadvantages for the repayment plan. Okay, so if Sarah wanted her total payments to be even lower, what could she do? Specifically on this one, she could go with a different type of plan. Does that make sense? Like, it's not black and white right there in front of you, that question. But if you just look over each one of these repayment options, you can see several of them, especially income-based, is so much lower, okay? And then you can get even lower if you go down here to the contingent. So there are other repayment options. So Sarah could choose to go with a different repayment plan so that her monthly payments are cheaper, okay? That's what she could do. All right, great. Sarah looks at these results and realizes her monthly payment would be lower with most of the income-based repayment plans. But then she looks at the total amount paid and realizes that the loan price increases when she chooses these plans. How is this possible? Her monthly payment is lower, but her total payments are higher. What does that look like? Why would that be? So total to be paid is well more than anything else. Okay. How do I find that again? So I'm going to click view details. All right. So remember that first one when we looked at it, where payoff date is June 2030 right here. Look at this guy. She's not going to be paying this one off until 2034. Okay. So the way that it's a higher, the reason it's a higher total payment is, is due to it being, due to the payment being income-based rather than, a time limit. Although there is still a time limit, she's extending her payment. She's having a lower payment to extend the time. When you have a higher payment, it shortens the time that you're in that debt, okay? So instead of a higher payment, Sarah, is choosing to extend the amount of years she is in debt, and that means she is paying more interest over time, because we learned that, right? We have learned that the longer you pay on debt, the more interest is charged. So you guys try it out with Luca, Yashari, and if you have any questions, just shoot me a message on the comments. Hope this is helpful. Bye, guys.